Critical reading is a crucial part of writing strong academic essays. Actually, active reading and writing are very similar to each other. In both situations, you learn by actively interacting with the text. When you critically read, you never are a passive participant, but an active builder of meaning. Enhancing your natural tendency to be critical and curious will make any text more real and useful to you in college. Let's take a closer look at critical reading strategies. Before you even read a single paragraph of your article, it is good to get out a pen, a highlighter, and to print out my double entry log found in our learning module. The log is divided up into 6 sections. You will remember these 6 elements from the lecture on the rhetorical situation. Actually, analyzing the rhetorical situation is, in many ways, the same thing as critical reading. Another wise thing to do before you actually read the essay is to look at the title. Making predictions about what you think the article will discuss and connecting to prior knowledge will help your critical analysis become more effective. There are 2 parts to our critical reading. The first part is where you gather unbiased evidence from the article. In your essay, you will use this unbiased evidence to construct your summary, which will consist of your intro paragraph and body paragraph number 1. Mark the thesis and main points of your selected article. Identify important ideas. It's important to read the article lightly the first time, making fewer marks. Then when you read it again, you can layer in deeper identification of the author's ideas. So when preparing the summary, identify the overall purpose of the author. Who is the author's audience? Identify any parts that are confusing so you can read it later. In short, when you are reading the article the first few times, read it as if you were an anthropologist. You want to simply uncover the author's ideas. It is very important to remove any bias from your writing when you are conducting the summary portion of the essay. Do not input any of your own opinions and bias. Students often do this by accident by having a dreary or serious tone when summarizing a point with which they disagree. Stay neutral here in this portion of the reading and note-taking. Once you have identified the author's main ideas from the article, it's time to begin questioning and analyzing the text. Consider any assumptions the author is making. For example, if a college recruiter argues that the school is superior to most others because its ratio of students to teachers is low, the unstated assumptions are 1. That students there will get more attention, and 2. That more attention results in better education. Identifying assumptions like these help you identify weak points in the article. In your essay, anytime you give a critical response, you will want to support your response with evidence. A nice pattern you can sometimes use is to 1. Refer to the author by reminding your reader of something you previously summarized from the intro or body paragraph 1. 2. You should critically respond to it. And then 3. Provide evidence from the article that supports your critical response. It's nice to pick an element from our rhetorical situation and use it to look at your article through different glasses. For example, you can look at the thesis and main ideas. For the summary portion of the essay, you would simply identify main points and key passages. Then you can flip into your critical glasses to identify assumptions, contradictions, and omitted arguments. You can look at another element of our rhetorical situation by looking at language and style. In the summary portion of your essay, you will simply identify the author's tone as casual, ironic, preachy, humorous, academic, and more. But when you flip into your critical glasses, you will interpret whether or not the tone supported or distracted the author's message. Finally, one last example I'll give is of the author's organization and evidence. When wearing your summary glasses, you can simply identify how the article was organized and what kind of evidence is being used to prove points. But your assertions of the author. Overall, as you read, you are decoding a message from the author. As a writer, you have the responsibility to identify the author's message and actively question, reason with, and illuminate the text. I hope this video helps you as you begin to read and critically analyze your selected essay. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope it helps you in your work. Bye!